Hello guys, you are with Vikas here in the wonderful session of English. Today we'll see the most interesting and the most important topic, adverb. So let's see what is an adverb. See, the another name of adverb is modifier. Modifier. Modifier means what? It can modify. It has the capability to modify so number of things. So which type of part of speech it can modify? It modifies a verb, an adjective, and another adverb and the whole sentence. So now you can see it has capability to modify a verb, adjective, another adverb, and the whole sentence. So let's see how it modifies and what is the meaning of modification, or how it modifies an adjective, verb, and etc. See, first of all, we know the concept of noun and adjective. I hope you know very well that noun is the name of anything in the world and adjective can add details to a noun or pronoun. For example, sister. Sister is a name, so we can say sister is a noun. If I say slow, it is not the name. It can modify or it can give details to any noun or pronoun, so we can say slow is an adjective. Similarly, if I say world, world is also a noun, and if I say beautiful, beautiful is not a name, we can say it adds details to a noun or pronoun. So firstly we'll see how to make an adverb. Basically, whenever we add ly to a noun, we can add ly to a noun or adjective also, but there is a, you can say, very big difference between these two. Whenever we add ly to a noun, it becomes an adjective, but whenever we add ly to an adjective, it becomes what? An adverb. See, for example, if I add ly to sister, it becomes sisterly. And sisterly, we have added ly to a noun, and after adding ly to a noun, it becomes adjective. So we can say sisterly is what? It is an adjective. If I add ly to slow, it becomes what? Slowly. And as we know, slow is not a name, it is an adjective. So slowly will become what? An adverb. Similarly, if I add ly to world, and world is what? Nothing but a name. So it becomes what? Worldly. And worldly is what? We can say, because we have added ly to a noun, so it becomes what? An adjective. It's very easy, very simple. Beautiful, as you know, beautiful can be used to show details of a noun or pronoun. So after adding ly to beautiful, it becomes what? Beautifully, and beautifully becomes an adverb. So this is the way of making an adverb and adjective also. Now we'll see how it modifies a verb, an adjective, or the whole sentence. Let's see. If I write here, Raju writes a letter. As we know, Raju is the subject of the sentence, and writes is an activity. We can say this is a verb. This is an activity, action, or you can say a verb. And what he is writing? He is writing a letter. He writes a letter. Okay. if I say, what is the way of writing? We don't have the way of writing. We don't know that how Raju is writing or how Raju writes. So now I'm just giving a details, or you can say I'm just trying to modify the way he writes. Raju writes a letter careful and carefully. Now we know careful is not a name. It is what? It is used to add details to a noun or pronoun. So we can say careful is what? An adjective. And carefully, we have added ly to this adjective careful. It becomes carefully. So carefully is what? An adverb. Now, according to definition, if you see, an adverb modifies what? A verb. How writes? He writes or Raju writes carefully, because adverb is basically used to modify this verb. So the right answer is carefully, not careful. It's a wrong one. I hope you're just getting. Now we see another example. Mohit walks. What is the action of Mohit? We can say he walks. Mohit walks. So we can say Mohit is what? Sorry, walks is what? It is a verb, or we can say it is an action. But we don't have the way Mohit walks. So I have to just modify the way he walks. Now I'm just giving you two options. First one is what? Slow, and second one, slowly. As we know, slow is not a name. So slow is what? Slow is an adjective, and we have done what? We have added ly to this slow. So slowly becomes what? Slowly is an adverb. Now we see we have to modify the way he is walking or Mohit walks. So what will be the correct answer? The correct answer will be slowly, not slow. So in this way we can say we are just using these adverbs to modify a verb. Now we'll see how an adverb is basically used to modify an adjective. And I hope you are just getting me all these things. So now we'll see how it modifies an adjective. If I say Sumit is a handsome boy. As we know, boy is what? It is a noun. And we have details of this. You can see boy is handsome. So it becomes what? An adjective. We can say he is also an adjective. We'll see it in the latter part. It is also an adjective. But we can say handsome is an adjective. But we don't have the degree of his handsome. We don't know up to which extent this boy is handsome. So we can add something to this handsome. You can say, in other words, we can modify this word as an adjective. So in another sentence, you'll see Sumit is a very handsome boy. Now, what is the basic difference between these two sentences? Now we again see this is a noun. And what is the details of this boy? Handsome. This is an adjective. And we know this is also an adjective. Now we'll see. This boy is handsome, but up to which extent? What is the range of his handsomeness? We can say very. So very is basically used here not for this noun, not for this adjective. This is used for this word, that is handsome, and this is what? An adjective. So in this way we can say this word has been used to modify this adjective. So it becomes what? It is an adverb. It is very easy, and you are getting me. I know you are just getting me. So we'll see the next point, that we have just seen it has modified, you can say, a verb, an adjective. Now we'll see how it modifies another adverb. Let's see. Rahul writes a letter carefully. Now you have to tell me that writes is what? Yes, good. It is an action, or we can say it is a verb. Very good. And what is the manner of his writing? How he writes? Carefully. So it is what? Yes, very good. This is an adverb. Basically, it is being used here to modify this verb. So, but we don't have that up to which extent he writes carefully. Yes, we have added something about his writing or the way he writes. We have what? Carefully. How writes? Carefully. But up to which extent he writes carefully, I must write here very carefully. So very has been used basically not for writes but for carefully. So whatever word we use for an adverb, that would be an adverb. I mean, whenever we use any word for any adverb, it would be always an adverb, not an adjective and not any other part of speech. So I hope you have just got how to modify a verb, how to modify an adjective, and how to modify another adverb. Now we'll see how it modifies the whole sentence. Let's see. In fact, Suresh is my best friend. If I ask you, in fact means what? Sach mein. In fact what? In fact what? Sach mein kya? We'll get an answer. In fact, sach mein, Suresh is my best friend. We can't say, in fact, my best friend, not at all. In fact, Suresh, not at all. But we must say, in fact, what? In fact, Suresh is my best friend. And we know this is what? This is a sentence. So we can say, in fact, has been used to modify this sentence. So this is the way of modifying an adjective, verb, another adverb, and the whole sentence. Now we'll see the types of adverb, because it is the, you can say, the backbone of adverb. If we know the types of adverb, there are, you can say, near about 11 to 12 types of adverb, but I will concise it so that you will feel easy to understand whatever I am just teaching you. So let's see. We'll see firstly types of adverb. So guys, there are 6 types of adverb. It is very easy to understand. Very easy. Now we'll see. First of all, we'll see adverb of manner. And I hope you know the meaning of manner. Manner means what? The way we do an action, or the way an activity is being done by any person or any, you can say, man. Adverb of manner, we can say it modifies an action. It modifies an action means what? It simply tells it tells how an action is done. Whenever we ask a question to an action, suppose I'm just giving you a very short trick so that you will feel comfortable. Whenever we ask a single question to this action, how means what? The manner. Whatever answer we get here, this answer will be what? An adverb of manner. For an example, Manish writes neatly. As we know, neat is not a name. It is a word that is used for, you can say, a noun or pronoun. So this is what? This is an adjective, and we have done what? We have added ly to this adjective. So it becomes what? An adverb. Now, we'll ask a single question to this action. How writes? Whatever answer we get will be an adverb of manner. In short, we can say when we ask how to any action, the answer will be an adverb, not an adjective. So the right answer, how writes? Neat? Not at all. How writes? Neatly, because we need what? An adverb. So we can say this is the right answer and this is the wrong one. And I hope you are just getting me. So guys, now we'll see another type of adverb. The second one is adverb of frequency. It is very easy, as you see the name frequency. How frequently an action is done is told by an adverb of frequency. How frequently means we can say how many times we are just doing an action. Previously you just saw that how an action is done, कैसे किया जाता है, the way of doing an action. And this one tells you how many times, how frequently. So I'm just giving you another short trick. Whenever we ask a question, suppose we have an action and we have just asked how many times. How many times means kitni baar. And whatever answer we get here, it would be what? An adverb of frequency. So now we can define adverb frequency also. It is what? It tells how many times an action is done. It is very easy. So for example, Manish always comes on time. We have an action, what? Comes. This is an action. If I ask a single question to this action, how many times Manish comes late or comes on time, we get an answer that is what? Always. And whatever answer we get of how many times will be what? An adverb of frequency. So we can say this is what? An adverb of frequency. We see another example. If I say Rohit often reads a newspaper. Again we have an action, what? Reads. This is an action. If I ask a single question to this action, how many times Rohit reads a newspaper? We get an answer. That is what? That is often. So we can say often is what? An adverb of frequency. So in this way, we can say adverb frequency is basically used to tell that how many times an action is being done. So we have covered two types of adverb, that is adverb of manner, how an action is done, and how many times an action is done is told by an adverb frequency. Now we will see the next type, that is point number 3, an adverb of time. Again, it is very easy. It tells the time of an action. See, so far you have just seen that most of the adverbs we have used here are being used for an action, because we have a lot of question to ask from an action. Firstly, how an action is done. Secondly, how many times an action is done. And thirdly, when an action is done. So we can say, if I have an action, and I have asked a question, when means kab, when action. So whatever answer we get here, it will be what? An adverb of time. It is very easy. So we'll see an example. I read a newspaper early in the morning. I read a newspaper early in the morning. We have an action. That is what? I read. So read is an action. Now I have to ask a question. When read? Kab padhta hu? I'm just getting an answer. Early in the morning. So we can say early in the morning. In short, you can say, if you find it, you can say in the morning would be the right answer of when. But I must include early also. Why I have included early also, we'll say it in the later part. So early in the morning will be what? An adverb of time. It is very easy. Now we'll see the fourth point. Adverb of place. It is again very easy. It tells the place of an action. Suppose I have an action and I have asked a question where this action has been done. So whatever answer I get, this answer will be what? An adverb of place. For example, come here. I have an action, that is what? Come. This is what? An action. And I have to ask a question where I'm just getting an answer here. So we can say here is an adverb of place. So we have just seen four types of adverb: adverb of manner, adverb of frequency, adverb of time, and adverb of place. Now move to another point. We'll see adverb of degree, or you can also say range or extent. Basically, it is used to modify an adjective, or you can say an adverb, and a verb also. We'll see how it modifies. It is used for an adjective, a verb, and another adverb. Basically, it is used to show the range of that adjective, adverb, and verb. How it is used to show the range, we'll see. We'll see through an example. Mukesh is a tall boy. So, as we know, this is what? This is a noun. Okay. And this is what? An adjective. Now I have to tell the extent or range of his tallness, up to which extent this boy is tall. So, in the very next example, I must write here, Mukesh is a very tall boy. So, we can say the degree of his tallness is what? Very. So, it becomes what? Adverb of degree, range, or extent. Now, move to another example. If I say, Ravi laughs a lot. If I ask you, what is the degree or what is the range of his laughing? I'm just getting an answer. Up to which extent he laughs? He laughs a lot. So this is the range of his laughing. So we can say this is an adverb of degree. Move to another example. If I say, Mohit runs very slowly. Now, I have to say, runs is an action. If I ask, how runs? What is the way of his running? I'm just getting an answer, slowly. So, it becomes what? Adverb. And which adverb? Guys, yes, very good. This is an adverb of manner. So, how runs? Slowly. But up to which extent he runs slowly? I'm just getting an answer. That is what? Very. So, I can say very is what? An adverb of degree. So guys, this is what? This is an adverb of degree. Now move to another point. We'll see adverb of sentence. Simply we can say it modifies the whole sentence. For example, fortunately, my friend passed the examination. So I can say, I see here, my friend passed the examination. This is what? This is a sentence. We know this is a sentence. And fortunately, bhagyavash, fortunately, what happened? Fortunately, we cannot say passed the examination. Who passed the examination? So we can say fortunately what? Fortunately, my friend passed the examination. So whatever we have used here, fortunately, it has been used for this sentence. So we can say this is what? An adverb of sentence. Now I'm showing some, you can say, types of adverb sentence. You have to bear it on your mind because this is very, very important, because the position of adverb sentence is really very important. Now I'm writing some adverb of sentence. We have seen recently, in fact. In fact is what? It is an adverb of sentence. Indeed, okay. Fortunately, unfortunately, we can say resultantly, consequently, and while plus V4. V4 means what? The ing form of verb. And when plus V3. So these are basically adverb sentence. Now the question arises, sir, what is the importance of adverb sentence and how questions are being asked in our examination? We can say one thing, that whenever we have to use an adverb sentence, the position of adverb of sentence is always at the starting of the sentence. It is considered good. If we place it, we must place it at the starting of the sentence. But some grammarians say that we can place it in the middle of the sentence. I don't say that that will be wrong. That will be also correct. But I told you that it would be considered very good if we place an adverb sentence at the starting of the sentence. So this is all about the types of adverb. Now we'll see some important adverbs that we can say from where questions are being asked in your examination. Now we'll see. If I write here only two and none two. Do you know, guys, the meaning of these words? Have you ever seen only two and none two? Okay, it's okay, fine. I'm just giving you an example. Ravi is only too smart. Now it doesn't sound good. Ravi is only too smart, but will not correct the sentence on the basis of sound, we can say. Ravi is only too smart. Another example. Mohit is none too handsome. Again, it doesn't sound good. It's okay, fine. Now, you will say, no sir, this sentence is correct. Both sentences are correct. Why? Now, see the meaning of only two. Only two is equal to very, and none two is equal to not very. Now, you will say, what is the meaning of Ravi is only too smart? We can replace only two by very. But I don't say that only two is wrong. Both are equally correct. So what is the meaning of this one? Ravi is very smart. And what is the meaning of Mohit is none too? Sorry, I have written here single two. That's okay, fine. Thank you. Mohit is none too handsome. What is the meaning of none too? Not very. So the meaning is Mohit is not very handsome. So basically these have been asked in your examination. Now moving to another point, we'll see again. See, one thing in adverb is very, very important. That is the position of, you can say, some special type of adverb. Right now we have just seen the position of adverb. That is, you can say, position of adverb of sentence. It is basically placed at the starting of the sentence. But the most important question, which is generally asked from the position of adverb of frequency. So we'll see. Position of adverb of frequency. I'm writing here some adverb frequency, that is hardly, scarcely, barely, seldom, seldom, if ever, seldom, or never. I must write here never also, but don't get confused that never is also considered an adverb of negation or negativity, but will not go that depth. We can say hardly, scarcely, barely, seldom, seldom if ever, seldom or never, never. And here I must write always, often, ever, rarely. There are so many adverb frequency we can see. Now we'll see these all are giving negative sense. This is also a negative word. But these are what? Positive sense. You can say an adverb frequency is divided into two parts. First part gives you positive sense and the second part gives you negative sense. For example, hardly, scarcely, barely, seldom, seldom if ever, seldom or never, never, and rarely give you what? Negative sense. But always, often, never give you what? Positive sense. So, what is the actual position of these adverbs? We'll see. First position I am writing here. At the place of not. It means what? In a given sentence, wherever we use not, an adverb frequency must be used at the place of not only. Say for example, Sumit comes always late. I don't know whether this sentence is correct or not, but we have to just find out adverb in this sentence. We have an action that is what? Comes, and I'm just asking a question. How many times Sumit comes late? I'm just getting an answer. That is what? Always. So I can say always is what? An adverb of frequency. This is what? An adverb of frequency. So the actual position of adverb of frequency is where? At the place of not. But we are not seeing here any, you can say not, or any negative word. So we must try to make this sentence negative. In our own mind, Sumit comes. If we form this sentence in negative, we can say Sumit, listen to me very carefully. Sumit does not come late. Are you getting me? If this sentence is formed in a negative sentence, I should write here Sumit does not come late. It means what? The actual position of not is what? Where? Here. But if you see always is an adverb of frequency and it has not been used at the place of not, so this sentence is wrong. The actual position will be what? Sumit always will be here. Always comes late, and this will be the right answer. Why? Because this is the place of not where I have just put always, I mean an adverb frequency. So this is the first position. Now move to another position at the starting of the sentence. At the starting of the sentence. Now we'll see at the starting of the sentence. Here, whenever we use any adverb of frequency at the place of not, we don't have to bifurcate whether that adverb of frequency is of a positive sense or negative sense. I mean, at the place of not, we can put here both of positive sense and negative sense. But whenever we use any adverb of frequency at the starting of the sentence, I must bifurcate whether it is of positive sense or negative sense. That's why I have just told you recently that there are two parts of adverb of frequency. First gives you positive sense and second gives you negative sense. So whenever we use any positive aspect or positive sense of adverb frequency at the starting of the sentence, the structure positive sense of adverb of frequency. The structure is adverb of frequency of positive sense. Then we have to use a subject, then verb, then object, etc. I mean, if in this sentence I have to use always at the starting of the sentence. So as we know, always gives you what? Positive sense. So we must put always at the starting of the sentence. It would be always. Then I have to put what? Positive sense of adverb frequency. I have to put subject. What is the subject? Sumit. Sumit comes late. It's a very easy. So now a question may arise on your mind that, sir, what is the basic difference between Sumit always comes late and always Sumit comes late? Basically, there is no any difference. There is only difference between their structures. Now move to another point. What happens when we use an adverb frequency of negative sense at the starting of the sentence? Now move to another point. An adverb frequency of negative sense. Whenever we use, here is the structure, adverb of frequency and negative sense, then we have to use a helping verb. Helping verb, you know, is am, are, was, were, has, have, had, so many things. Then I have to use a subject. Then if a sentence has an action, we can use main verb, then object, etc. This is the most important question. This is the most important structure also. The only difference is what? Whenever we use an adverb frequency of positive sense at the starting of the sentence, we saw what? We have seen recently that after this one, we have to use a subject then helping verb. But what happens when we use any adverb frequency of negative sense? After this one, we have to use what? A helping verb then subject. But don't get confused that, sir, we have used helping verb just before subject, so the sentence will become interrogative. But not like that. It is the case of inversion. Okay. So what is inversion? Whenever we use any helping verb just before a subject and the sentence remains affirmative or you can say assertive, not interrogative. Whenever we use any helping verb or verb just before subject and the sentence remains assertive, this is the case of inversion. Now we'll see an example. Hardly he comes late. Now we'll see that hardly is what? An adverb frequency of negative sense. This is what? A negative sense. So whenever we use any negative sense of adverb frequency, we must use firstly what? Helping verb, then subject. But here we have used what? A subject. So this sentence is wrong one. Now how we can correct it? So we have to use what? Helping verb. So we must know, we don't have any helping verb in this sentence. Okay, so we must find out the tense of this sentence. Here we have used the fifth form of a verb, which is basically considered present indefinite tense. And in present indefinite tense, we have two types of helping verb, that is do and does. So now we come to know that we use does with he. So we get a helping verb, that is does. So the right answer will be hardly does, then he. What we have used here, this is what? This is helping verb and this is what? Subject. Now we have to use verb and anything we can say. So he, and whenever we use do or does, we use the first form of a verb. So we can say come late, and this is the right one. This is the most important point, that is whenever we use any adverb frequency of negative sense, at the starting of the sentence we must use firstly helping verb, then subject. And if the helping verb is given in the sentence, then no worry. But if what happens if we don't have any helping verb in the given sentence? In that case, we have to just find out the tense of the sentence, and according to that tense, we have to find out the helping verb, and then we can put helping verb just before subject and the sentence will be correct one. So guys, this is all about adverb, and I hope you have just got it, whatever I have just told you. So keep learning and keep smiling. Thank you.